All right, so here we have Bitcoin on the 1 hour. Pretty short update today. We have not moved very much, but we are going to talk about the story of the market and what's going to happen next. So we did have that double BART like we talked about. Um, if you don't know what a BART is, watch yesterday's video. I explained what it is there. It's basically when you go up, chop back and forth, crack back down. Looks like Bart Simpson's head. Um, so we had the double Bart, came back down to the 50, was held up by the 50, had some wicks below, just taking out people's stops. Came back up, held up by the 21, had a little bit of stop hunt above the range. If this does crack back down, this was a stop hunt, a little bit of a bull trap there on the very short term time frames. And now we're being held up by the 50. We actually closed below the 50 though. Then we tried to get back up, being held down by the 21 as of now, and coming back down to that 50. So if we break this 50, probably going to come down to the 100 and 200. As you see, I have an alert set there. Um, and then we'll find out what happens next. If we break the 200 and 100, probably going to come down to this trend line. If we break the trend line, all the way down to 16,700 in these last lows is the next stop. But honestly, I think there's a lot of support right here at this 100 and 200. I mean, you also have a VPVR level. You also have the 786 on the Fibonacci, and it's basically in between 1735 and 1715 is where I'm looking to find support. All right, so back to here. Bullish case is that we break this last high at 17,200. I would expect this to come up somewhere at the top of these wicks at about 17,285, possibly even 17,258, and then come back to it because we could still get a rejection from there. But if we break that, if we break this last high at 17,250 on a 4-hour closure, next stop is 17,400, but ultimately I think we would get to 18K after a rejection from 17,400, which is this last high. But we could always come back up to these last highs, come back down for a retest, and then a resumption up. I mean, we had a breakout here, even had some volume behind it, but couldn't hold it. I mean, we even came back down for a retest. But we were kind of talking about the double BART once it started going sideways. Once it started going sideways, you knew that it wasn't a proper breakout. And that was kind of your clue that we could come back down and break back and down into the range. So now we're going to find out what happens next. Like I said, either we come down to the 200 and the 100 and the 786, or we go up from here, break this last high, 17,200. And, that's basically the bullish and bearish case for Bitcoin. Let's look at your momentum oscillators so we can kind of put the probabilities more in our favor of which way this is going to go. So we are testing the bearish control zone right now. The signal line and the neutral line are right here. That's going to offer major resistance now. So, do we come up and get rejected? Do we get a little bit of a bounce here? Possibly back up, say to the top of the range, maybe even a little bit out of it, maybe to 17,170, and then come back down. MACD, fresh cross to the downside. You are testing the zero line right now, which usually offers support. If you break this with both the MACD line and your signal line, that's not going to look good. That's going to kind of coincide with the bearish case of us coming back down to the 100 and 200. BBWP is above its moving average. Pretty strong upside curvature. So here is the move. The move is coming. The volatility is coming. Now, whether that's to the upside or the downside is to be decided. So yeah, I mean, we're going to find out. I already went over the levels. Let's move on to Ethereum. By the way, if you guys are liking this video so far, like and subscribe to the channel. check out the links in the description below. One being the Discord. A lot of good conversation about crypto, trading, investing, markets as a whole. We stay ahead of this market collectively. We talk about these moves before they happen. We share our trades. We share our strategies. Definitely join the Discord. So here on Ethereum. Oh, by the way, we didn't go over the 21 and 50 here. Okay, so your 21 looks like it's kind of curling over. 50 looks like it's losing its upside curvature. So if this 21 crosses this 50, that's going to coincide with us probably going down to the 100 and 200. Okay, let's move back onto Ethereum. Ethereum still in our red box. Moving averages look like they're trying to curl over the 21 and the 50. Your POC is right here at the 200, 1264. That's going to offer major support. If we break that, I would expect us to come down to the 100. If we break the 100, all the way down to the red box. And then if we break this level, 1278, on a 1 hour closure, I would expect us to come up somewhere at these highs at around 1288 to 1292. All right, right now your momentum oscillators, one being your RSI, is testing that neutral median line. Right now, testing your signal line. Got to bounce off that neutral median line. So if we can get above this last high on the RSI, I would think we would come back up to the bullish control zone. Now, if we break below the neutral median line again and get rejected from this signal line, I do expect this to enter the bearish control zone. After a small bounce, of course. MACD, curling over, finding resistance at the zero line. I mean, if this thing crosses that zero line again, that's going to go into the bearish case. BBWP has a downside curvature about to cross its moving average. So Ethereum could go sideways a little bit here. Unless your BBWP turns around. If that BBWP turns around, then you know a move is happening in Ethereum as well. All right, so all your major moving averages are above each other right now. Well, no. Your 100 is not above your 200. Now, if your 100 would come up and cross the 200, that would probably mean we're breaking this last high at 1288. But, that's kind of has the lesser probability right now, but we'll find out. There's always that lower probability. So, yeah, if you break this last high at 1278, I would think you'd come up somewhere around 1288 to 1292. Now, if you break, like I said, if you break that 100, 1258, down to the red box, down to the bottom of the red box. Ebbs and flows, of course. You probably get a bounce at 1250. Probably get another bounce at 1232. So let's check Solana. Solana. Okay. Solana's not looking too good. Solana's not looking too good at all. You're being held down by your moving averages right now. Your RSI is riding the top of that bearish control zone. You do have bearish divergence, which is playing out right now. BBWP is riding the floor. You just did cross your moving average, but you need to get back above that 10 percentile. Remember how we said it really doesn't matter if you're under the 10% on the 10 percentile on the reader right here. All right. Bearish case for Solana is that you basically break this last low where we're wicked down to right now. I would expect a small bounce from 1354, but ultimately I think we'd come down to 1333 region. Got your POC at your 50 right here on your VPVR. So that's going to be major resistance. Possibly we get a bounce up to there, to the POC at 1365 and then get rejected. That would be the bearish case. Bullish case is that you break this last high, these last highs, 1370 and the 200. If that happens, I expect you to come all the way up to 1394. If you could break 1394, I expect you to go all the way up to 1430. Okay? Now, if you break this, that 1333 mark, next stop is 1279. Okay? So, like I said, pretty short update today. We We can go ahead and check the order blocks real quick, see if anything's happening there. So we do have some support at, let's see, 17K. See there, that coincides with that level. We have a bullish order block there. So that does coincide with that level right now. And yeah, so that's a confluence with the 17K support that we were talking about. Right now, your stochastic is pointed to the downside. Pretty strong downside curvature below its signal line. I mean, yeah, it's looking like 17K is a major level of support. If we do turn down, I think that's where we go. Okay. If you guys like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the links in the description below. Join the Discord. It is the place to be. I wish everyone well. Everyone have a great morning, great afternoon, great evening, and I will see you tomorrow.